Hello, I am so excited to share with you guys some design tips and how you can merge design with copy and how they kind of both work together on your website. The very first thing that I thought of when I wanted to, teach some tricks and some ideas was to show you some of the sales pages my team and I have done. And you can see my portfolio list here, and the images will link directly to the actual sales page. So once we get off this video, you can take a peek at my portfolio and click right into those sales pages so you can see, live what is actually happening on the page if we're going too fast here. So I'm going to show you first. All right, let me just find some copy that I thought would be a good example. Okay, so Carolyn Soldo is an amazing coach, and we've done a couple sales pages for her. So with her copy, copy is so important, and it's so essential to have the right words and the right voice for your brand, and make sure that it's cohesive with the brand that you want and the personality that you want to have come across. So if we look at her copy, it is in large font, some large, some small, but what you can see here is it's 28 pages of text. There's a couple images she's put in here just to show me what kind of image she's thinking about, but overall there's just 28 pages of text. So how do we turn that into an actual sales page, something that will convert, something that looks designed and is not just words upon words? So I'm going to jump into that particular example, which is this one right here. It's Brand Your Passions. I believe the cart is closed for this, but it's a really great program if she does open it up again later in the future. Give it a second to load. You can see that it is still a long sales page, but already, without even talking about specifics, you can see there is so much more than just words upon words. So let's start right back up at the top, and I'm going to give you just some quick, actionable tips that you can do to make your sales page jump off the page and be even more than the copy that it starts from. A big thing right now is full width images, whether it's yourself or something, but just this header, this full width image that grabs your attention. Photos of yourself, especially if you're personally branded. Even if you have a business name or a company name and you're not personally branded, I still recommend photos of yourself. It gives that personal touch, shows that there's a real person behind the computer, behind that company. In this example, we've used images of Carolyn to pair with these text statements to break it up, to pinpoint, 1, 2, 3, 3 different things. Same thing, 1, 2, 3. These whether it's 2, 3, or 4, those are kind of go-to numbers, whether there's 2 of something, 3, or 4. It's a good way of breaking things up into kind of bite-size, chunks that you can take in at once. And you can see between these 3 graphics versus this one, they're not identical, but you've got the gold and the blue, the background and the overlay, and then the white text. Again, another full width image of Carolyn. We've put some of her copy right on the image. It breaks the text up again. Some is on the blue background with white. Some's on the white background with a black font. Continue to scroll, break it up some more with some videos, more images. In this one, she's broken her copy up by bullet point, which again is another good option to break up some text so it's not just paragraph after paragraph. But the overall scheme here of blue and gold, bite-sized pieces, breaking up the content was the overall goal. See 4 here, 4 columns. Graphics that kind of pull in your attention, and even if you don't read the entire page, one of these graphics might grab your attention. You'd read that section and then you'd build on that. not necessarily you as the owner of the site, but rather you as a reader of a web page. You might grab onto some particular graphic, and that's kind of the same idea that you want to go with for your own readers, is what graphics will grab their attention. In Carolyn's example, she broke up her sales page in speaking about how her month and weeks will be broken up. So we've broken this up by month, 2 columns, weeks, and then the actual content on the right side. Same thing, month 2, the weeks and the content, month 3, the weeks and the content, and month 4, and the weeks and the content. So again, consistency is important, breaking things up is important, and using an overall style of the same font, same colors, and same personality. These are good to use if you've got a Q&A section or frequently asked questions or any kind like that. It's called an accordion. It might be called something different depending on what theme you're using, but the idea is you can click on a question and it'll pop it open. You don't require the reader to read all the copy, because if you go back, I have it closed, let me just open it back up. If you go back to her copy, there's a lot of copy in answering all these questions, which is awesome to have the answers to. Scroll down, there's the Q&A. So lots of questions, lots of answers, good information, but not everyone has the same questions. So by putting it in this accordion, it allows the reader to choose what they want to read. And a message from her directly with her signature. And again, final buttons, the sign up now. So again, what she did, that I didn't mention this yet, but I will mention it now. We have, by her request and my suggestion, put in the sign up buttons in multiple places on the site. If you looked at this page earlier when she was running her early bird special, you would have seen a countdown and some sign up buttons for her early bird prices scattered throughout the page. So you can see here there's another sign up button. Let me see if there's more. There's another one there. So what that does is allows the reader to read, and if they've made a decision already, they don't need to scroll all the way down if they're already going to purchase it. They can, it's still going to be there, but if they've want to click on there anywhere in between, the option is still open. So I'm just going to show you a couple other sales pages that we've done just to show you some more examples. Cassie Howard is one of my favorite coaches. She was my coach for the summer. I worked with her for about 4.5 months, and we've done a couple of sales pages for her since then. This one, you can see the same style where there's a full width image straight across that kind of holds the page right off the bat. It's got that structure. The colors and the fonts are quite different, but the consistency within one page is all the same. So with your own page, you don't necessarily want your sales page and your regular website to have different colors and fonts. You want them all to be consistent so that you can be recognized by your readers. And what we did with Cassie's was we had this overlay of this red on her images, so it's not just a straight color image or black and white image, but has a tone of red because that's part of her color scheme. In her photo that has a lot of white and a lot of airiness around it already, we've added that image on a white background so it doesn't push down that bright airy feeling. We still have sections of text. That's not a bad thing to have sections of text. There is content that you need to get across, but again, breaking it up with blacks, like full-on color sections with white text versus white sections with black text. You want to have the two, paired. It doesn't have to necessarily be exactly opposites like black and white, but breaking them up into blue and gold or white and purple, whatever color scheme you're working with, just different elements to break up that text. She's added testimonials in here. Again, not just at the end of the page, but right in the middle, so that people can have that real life oh, someone else worked with Cassie and here's what they thought. She broke up her what happens in weeks 1, 2, 3, and 4. More testimonials. The prices. And it's closed right now, but again, the buttons would be down here. The buttons would be, I believe they were right here. So the buttons were again in more than one place. What's another sales page that I loved? Oh, So You Think You Can Launch, which is Bronwyn Martin. She runs Moxie Entrepreneurs on Facebook. So her sales page, again, full width image, grabs your attention, starts that page right off the bat with the colors and the fonts and that vibe, the brightness, or rather not brightness, electricity, I guess is kind of the word I'm going for. You can feel the energy. Her fonts are consistent all the way through. You can see that there's a range of, images, headers, her own images, text that talks about what she's offering, breaks it up. Again, here's some seat color back behind the text versus the white background. And I believe she also adds the buttons in more than one place. Right here, kind of near the middle / 75% through, as well as 85% through the page, and at the very bottom of the page. And she uses these accordions as well for Q&A sections. This is one of my favorite sales pages we've ever done. This is Shelly. I'm going to mess up her last name. Davidskew, I believe, is her last name. She runs cleanforks.com, and what we did with this one was much more graphic intensive as opposed to text. So again, still a long sales page. Like, you can tell that there's a lot of content, but we broke it up even more than the rest. So again, you can see this pattern here. Large, full width image. It includes herself. In this example, we've used kind of a gold, in the actual color of the text. It's not just yellow text or, turquoise. There's that gold texture in there. Graphical elements, different font to accent certain words, but still the font is consistent throughout the page. Broken it up into bullet points. And you'll see here, these bullet points aren't your typical round dots. There's a little bit of a design element even with the bullet points. So you can always play with the design elements of everything. Bullet points, line breaks, all these different things, buttons, accordions, everything can kind of be designed, whether that's adding a graphic, changing the style, changing the color of it. You can see the gold is consistent across between behind the words, using the gold in the actual words itself. Here's we're using the same graphical bullet point elements down here. And let me just remind myself where her buttons are. So there's the apply now. Right there. So in this case, she's got just the one button. It's completely up to you where you put the buttons, if you have one or more. Sometimes one button is great because it's, there's only one place to click. There's not 3 different options. There's just the one place to click. So it all matters, or it doesn't really matter which you choose, but be consistent is the biggest point I can make, is be consistent. Let me show you. I'm going to show you one more. And again, it's one of Carolyn's that we did. We showed you the Brand Your Passions, and I'm going to show you this other one now. What I want to show you between the two is they're both gold and navy, and they both have photos of Carolyn. And what that does is it helps her reader recognize her. It helps her reader recognize her brand. But you can see, I'm going to pop them both open. So you can see kind of right off the bat how they're related and recognizable, but different from each other. So in the one that I showed you originally, it's got this, soft image up the top with these strikingly, elegant gold and blue backgrounds. The other one, the image is more, the word is bokeh, is kind of this lighting effect here, but it's not as harsh. There's not the structured background. We're still using the same photos of her, but again, there's more of this gold bokeh and these elegant line breaks. And I believe, so with this original page I showed you, there's a lot of squares. And with this one, there's a lot more circles. There's just a different graphical element to kind of change it up a little bit. Her month 1s, 2, 3, and 4 is simpler. It's more just text. Her months 1, 2, 3, and 4 here, we'll go back to it. It's broken up by bullet point and into 2 columns. It's completely up to you. These are just 2 different ways, but what you can see is when you're looking at this page and you're looking at this page, I bet you would say that it's very similar and at least it's recognizable to her. So I hope that that helped. I hope you can see how sales page copy goes with sales page design and how they're kind of work together to put out the best appearance or the best perception that you can put out there. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to hop on my site, alyssajgavinsky.com. You can go into my contact and email me, or you can hit me up on Facebook. I'm pretty much on Facebook all the time. And I'd love to help if you have any questions on your sales pages in particular. Give me a shout. Take a peek up here for some examples. And of course, all these web pages have their own sales pages as well. There's plenty to look at for inspiration. Have a great day, guys, and have a happy Thanksgiving. Thanks, everyone.